Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. If you're enjoying the reviews and the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So we're up to episode 2 in She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. I do apologize. In the past, I was calling her Huntara. It's actually Huntara. I don't know. I was messing up my vocabulary there, but it's Huntara. If I do say it wrong, it's just because I'm so used to saying it the wrong way. But that's the name of this episode, and it's a weird one. It's very odd. We get some cool backstory with Hordak and some of the stuff of why he, we had to learn a lot about him. But then we get a bunch of weird stuff between him and Entrapta. Then there's Huntara, who's really weird too. But I don't know. It's not as bad as the prom episode, but it gets pretty damn close. We open up with a kind of a cool shot of Adora standing on top of like some skeletons or some, huge dead animal, middle of the desert. Kind of a cool shot. And, it's the feel-good idiots. And they go on this adventure, and they didn't tell Adora that they didn't tell the queen, because she's like, that's really weird that Queen Angela let us come out here. And then Glimmer's like, oh, she would hate the idea. That's why I didn't tell her. They keep doing this. The main message of this show is what? Screw your parents, screw authority figures, do whatever you want to do. Your parents are always wrong. Fight me. Tell me if that's not the real message here, because haven't they done this like a dozen times now? They even did it in the last episode when they went to go talk to Shadow Weaver and that thing. They could have went to Casta, and I'm pretty sure they could have convinced the queen otherwise. No, go behind your parents' back, because that's the thing to do. So they go out in the middle of this wasteland that, for all they know, is there's nothing out here but death and monsters and bad terrain. They bring nothing. They don't have any backpacks. They don't have any provisions or goods. Nothing. What was this going to be, a day trip? Were they going to just come out here for a couple hours and then go back to Bright Moon? At least in Last Airbender, they had stuff. They set up camp. Sokka was always fiddling around with base camp, building tents and stuff. They do nothing. They have nothing. It's so dumb. And then later on, like, Adora talks about survival skills. What was one of the skills? Not to bring anything with you? Anyways, they're out here and they do the same stupid gag that's in everything. It was in Trolls. It was in a million other cartoons. Look at the cute little birdie. Then it gets on a plant and the plant kills the bird. It's a trope beyond tropes. But like the plant freezes the bird? That's super weird. But then they're gonna, like, the first are kind of scared, but they don't know where to go. Bo's little thingies on the fritz, like, it doesn't work. Like, it literally has a picture of his face with the 2 X's and the tongue hanging out because it's dead. But why even program that? Was it for your own amusement, Bo? That is so stupid. Then he does a weird thing where he taps Adora on the head with the tracker, and she kind of likes it. I don't know what this is. Why is this happening? Is this the only piece of technology they have? Because everything else they have is just like regular paper maps, and the only thing that's any type of like electronic is this stupid tracker they have. Anyways, we get to see that Adora knows how to do survival stuff, because she's like, well, as long as you keep going south, we'll kind of get towards the center or wherever the hell, the middle of this desert. So she kicks over a rock, which she knew she could totally kick over, like, without breaking her leg. And this is some type of weird magnetic rock. She puts a little metal thing on there, and it's like a compass. You can do this with like a paper clip and a leaf, like on water, and it will, kind of be a natural compass. So it's the same kind of thing. There's other times where she could have used these kinds of skills, and she doesn't. So let's get the only skill she knows. And then they're walking by. I think this might be the only dead person we ever see. They actually see a skeleton of a Horde soldier. So yeah, that's kind of cool that they actually showed a dead person. They don't ever do that. Then we get back to the Fright Zone with Hordak and Entrapta and the creepiest kind of relationship in the world, because it's not like scientist and his assistant scientist. It's so weird. They're building one of their portals. They're testing one out, and it looks like the portal from Minecraft when you like put all the stupid blocks together. It's starting to work, but it's starting to break down. Like they still haven't figured out all the pieces to build this portal, and it's starting to destabilize. Entrapta's gonna go shut it down. Then it's so weird. Hordak goes, no, it's gonna blow up, and he like grabs her and protects her, like he covers her up so she doesn't get hurt. And he like took the brunt of the blast, like it really hurt him. Why would he do that? So Hordak's growing a heart? The name of this episode should have been called Sympathy for the Devil, because they're trying to like make us feel bad for Hordak. It's so weird. And he gets all, he gets all pissed off. Instead of like, I guess being honest with himself, he just starts yelling at her. It didn't work. It was broken. And she's Entrapta, of course, being the scientist. Well, that was one experiment. Let's try something else. Let's tweak with this. Let's tweak that. We can try it again. But Hordak just starts yelling and screaming. He's like, no, it's over with it. This experiment's done. Basically tells her to leave, and he like yells at her, even though he like just saved her life. Super weird. Remember how I said the jokes aren't funny in episode 1? Yeah, the jokes are still not funny in episode 2. It just cuts right back to them running away from some type of 3-headed monster thing, and it chases them off a little embankment. And then they give us exposition because they couldn't show us, oh, there's plants that are evil, and the 3-headed monsters that chase us, and everything in this the Crimson Waste is like trying to kill us. But they're saying it like in a joking way, like it's almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's really weird because this should be serious. Then there's like random quicksand. Adora looks tired or dehydrated, or because she's kind of talking weird, and we'll figure it out, guys. Maybe you should have brought some water, you freaking dummies. I don't know. It must be heat exhaustion, something, because she's acting super weird. Because then we get a scene where Glimmer's all, hey, why don't we go there? And then Adora grabs no binoculars. She just uses her hands, and then Bo hands her the binoculars, and then she has them. What's going on here? They should have established that she was acting loopy because she's like sick or, heat exhaustion, something. No, she's just acting this way for no real reason. And I want to play a clip here, guys, because there's a subtle little Easter egg here in this scene. You blink and you miss it. And it's a reference to how Noelle Stevenson acquired the staff to make She-Ra. So I want to run the clip real quick and see if you catch it.
Or we could go there? Okay, problem solved.
Did you get it? It was really subtle, wasn't it? So they decided to go to this giant, it's like the mouth of some dragon thing or some sand blizzard. And it's, they're like, oh, there's nothing going to be in here. And it's a bar. If you ever watch Star Wars, any of these kind of space opera things, that's exactly what you would see in all those places. All the patrons, I give them props for having different types of people. You see a lot of fox people, like dog people, but they don't look like they belong in this show. Look at this screenshot and tell me these characters look like characters that would be in this show. They would fit in perfectly in other animated properties, but no one. It's just a weird art style because there's a little too much detail, a little too much going on. It's like the prom episode where the background characters were oddly they stood out a little too much. So it makes you think that they really took a lot of time on these background characters. They don't do anything. Adora, being a dummy, just kind of walks in there and kind of throwing her weight around. There's some barkeep lady. Hey, ladies, like, gonna ask her questions about how to get to the center of the Crimson Waste. Then she like straight up stands on top of the bar and starts like asking people like, hey, we need some help over here. I don't know, Adora, why would you do any of this? That you're gonna get you guys beat up or killed or start a fight. It's just a dumb idea. And this whole bar scene kind of reminds me of the scene in Battle Angel with Alita Battle Angel, where she kind of goes into that little hunters club and then it kind of starts a ruckus there. But at least there, it made a little more sense because that was kind of like what she was trying to do. Adora, why would you want to start a fight? Even Bo and Glimmer are like, girl, shut the fuck up. You're going to get us killed. Then we get that goat lady and that lizard guy we saw in the clips. I reviewed the clips that came out before, so you can check out those videos and see what I think of these two idiots. She just goes up there and grabs Adora and like pulls her down. She just lets this lady grab her? What are you, stupid? What if she had a knife or something and try to gut you? You don't let anyone just put their hands on you. Adora, you're such a moron. But, the goat lady's giving her the business. We don't like outsiders. Get out of here. Then we get Huntara. She like broke a bottle over some dude's head. And then she kind of giving the business to the other goat lady and the lizard guy. The strong make the rules and don't bother me when I'm eating. And like throws her out. And then she starts, talking to, the three knuckleheads. It's Gina Davis doing the voice, but she's not using her speaking voice. She's kind of giving a low grumble to her voice. And it just sounds weird because sometimes it goes away and sometimes it comes back. So the whole story about how she got this job was she just randomly showed up at DreamWorks and begged for a job. I'll do anything. And then they threw her in this. That's so pathetic. They never should have told the story. It should have been more of like, oh, we reached out to her and she was super excited. No, she just was wandering around the building one day and then they just, hey, you come do this voice. But she's like, of course, she's the biggest and baddest bitch in the county. So everyone's like super scared of her. And then we get this scene where Adora sees her and is all sparkly eyed. People have ran articles, I'm talking like Entertainment Weekly and Polygon and all that. Oh, Adora fell in love with her. The sparkly eye thing is super weird. I'll give you that. But I'm thinking it's leaning more towards the side of, oh, she's impressed by how badass she is. But it's still very weird. Take the sparkly eyed part out of it, and then you can be like, oh, she's really impressed with her. But the fact that these news articles are like wanting this, where Adora is a teenager and Huntara is like a woman, it's so creepy. She basically tells you, don't trust anybody. Everyone here is a scumbag and a piece of garbage. You got to be safe, so don't trust anyone. Adora is so smitten with this lady that she's like, oh, we got to get her on my team. Then there's this little scene where it's the barkeep lady is bringing her, I don't know if this is a drink or if this is some type of wacky burrito. She's bringing it to her, but then she has like those like, hey, baby, thanks for the burrito. Maybe I'll pay you back sometime. It just has that look to it. And then she even like leaves like a little scorecard like, hee hee hee. Oh, is this their way of saying she's a lesbian? Okay, we get it. We automatically assume that every female in the show is a lesbian. You don't have to keep hammering it over our heads. Adora, again, like I said, is totally titillated with her. Oh, you seem like to know your way around. Maybe you can show us where the center of the Crimson Waste is. And these are my companions. Bo, and she's like introducing them, and then she's like, okay, blondie, girl, and boy. Okay, that's all I need to know. It's just being... It's okay for Huntara to be a bitch because she's supposed to be this badass. When everyone else is doing it, it doesn't make sense. She's just she goes on and tells them, I don't want to do this stupid crap with you guys. Forget about it. But if you're going to just go out in the desert anyways and just end up getting killed. And they kind of set up to her being kind of like this good guy. She basically agrees to be their guide, their Serpa through the freaking desert. And everyone's happy. Yay, we got her on our team. And then we get that whole screenshot that's on every freaking news website where she's like, she couldn't wait to touch her. Like she's going to go shake her hand. Weird. Get back to Entrapta and Hordak. We see a little Hordak clone baby thing in a tube. It looks all nasty and gross. And Entrapta's like, oh yeah, this is getting, like even she's thinking this is a little weird. We see Hordak all like busted up and he's like falling apart. He looks so pathetic and weak. Like he's so skinny. Like the original Hordak was kind of like he was like huge, like muscle bound. This Hordak looked really cool in his armor. Without his armor, he literally looks like I want to say he's gaunt. He doesn't look like he has any meat on his bones. Like he's totally dying. And Catra's like, oh, I better, not Catra, Entrapta's like, oh, I better get out of here because this isn't something he probably doesn't want me to see. She steps on a pipe or something and then it's the whole comical, like it makes a bunch of noise, not just a little noise, like a ridiculous amount of noise. Bing, bong, bong, bong. The whole thing comes crashing down. And, Hordak sees her, and then Entrapta's like, well, hi. And like, she's going to try to help him. We get back to the three dummies and the purple girl. She does the same stupid, using the rock as a compass thing. And so they're kind of working their way through here. And of course, Adora's like asking her a million questions about this, and that. And, oh, they say everyone who's out here is running away from something. And then, Adora's like, what are you running away from? The classic thing where you think, oh, she's going to attack Adora. No, she's killing some bug thing that was trying to jump on her. And Huntara's not scared of nothing. Huntara, I want to eat. No, she basically said, I'm not afraid of anything. Okay, we get it. You're, again, the baddest bitch in the Badlands. Adora shows that she knows where this quicksand is. Oh, you're a quick learner. Like, kind of like biting into her trust and everything. And I never bought it for a second because it just seems super weird that she was willing to do this, knowing that in the Crimson Waste, no one does anything for free or for niceness. They keep walking and walking. I guess this was like an all-day trek. Then we get that stupid, it was in the trailer where Glimmer, now we get the full context of what was going on. Glimmer is talking to Bo, hey, we've been traveling all day, talk to Adora, let's see what we're doing. But then Bo's like, no, we have to support her, and she keeps telling her to shush, and then they have that weird, stupid shushing battle. These jokes are not funny. Even Huntara's like, oh, yeah, your friends are really loud, and they're really stupid. And Adora kind of agrees, but she's like, oh, they're my friends, and they're here to help me. They find where they're looking for, quote unquote, find it, and it's like some type of pit with a rock in it. I'm thinking, is this some type of, Space Odyssey thing? This is really some kind of computer or something? Nope. Dora gets hit by like a poison dart, and Huntara betrayed them. She double crossed them just to steal their stuff. They didn't even have that much stuff. I guess she wanted her sword. They all get attacked. It's funny that Bo was the last one to go down, and he actually dodged one of the poison darts. But she goes down, she passes out, and they like throw her in a hole. Why wouldn't they just kill her? What a cruel fate to let someone starve to death and or die of heat exhaustion in the middle of a pit in the middle of the desert. I'd rather have you just slit my throat and got it over with. She wanted her to suffer. That's crazy. We get back to, this is where things get super weird. Oh, there shouldn't be anything wrong with this, but it just comes off as just the way that the dialogue and the visuals is just so weird. Hordak comes to because he passed out because he was all weak from the previous scene. Catra like made him soup, like a bunch of little bowls of soup because she likes little things. And she tries to like feed him like he's a baby. And then he's like even fights like a baby. I don't want it. I don't want no soup. And she's trying to feed him with like 1,000, like 8 or 9 freaking spoons. Really weird. And she's getting uncomfortably close to him, like all up in his face and touching him and everything. Odd. Everyone says Entrapta is like 29 years old. That's ridiculous. No, I do not buy that. She is a teenager because all the princesses are teenagers. 17 at the most, probably closer to 15. Super weird. But she sees Hordak's fighting her, but I don't want to eat my soup, Mom. And he tries to get up and walk away, but he like stumbles. She catches him, and she sees his body's all jacked up, and that his like part machine, part organic, and of course to Entrapta, that's all interesting. Like, well, what are you? Like, I can help you. Tell me what's going on. And here we get like all this exposition about Hordak's life. It's very weird. It's cool because we get to learn a lot about him, but at the same time, are they trying to garner sympathy for this guy? He has pillaged and killed and slaughtered and enslaved probably tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 people. I don't care how upset he is about his past. He's an evil piece of garbage. But we find out that he's just a clone and, very Star Wars-y. So like Emperor Palpatine, who had like a bunch of clones. Horde Prime, which is like, I guess the original, and all the other. So there's a bunch of Hordaks running around the universe. That's kind of cool. So Horde Prime named his army the Horde. That'd be like me naming my army the Crimson. Actually, that's kind of cool. I'm going to call my army the Crimson. But I guess he was like, this animation sequence is pretty cool. It's not like the rest of the animation. I'll probably run a little clip here, but it looks really cool.
Planets, worlds, galaxies fell before us. I was his top general, but there was a defect in my cloning.
It's very kind of storybooky, very kind of the pop graphics. Everything's like black. It's really cool. I really like this sequence. I commend them for that. That makes this episode a little bit cooler. But we learned that Hordak was like the top student, his top general. Guess he had a defect. They didn't say what the defect was, but Horde Prime not like defects and like kind of throws them away. Kind of like the 300, the Spartans, like you couldn't have any imperfections and they just toss you away. I guess that happened to him. Then the whole thing with Mara closing the portals, he got sucked into the portal, got stuck on Etheria, and his whole plan was I'm going to take over this planet, open up the portal, bring my brothers over, we're going to stomp this freaking world, and then Horde Prime will see how useful I am. I'm not garbage. I'm not meant to be thrown away. I am worth something. So this whole time I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty screwed up. But then I thought about it. Wait a second, this guy's a freaking garbage bag. No, I don't care how bad your life was. It does not excuse all the horribly evil things you've done. It just doesn't. And so again, garnering sympathy for the devil. I don't know. It works in the short run. Like while I was watching it, I really felt bad for him. But as you think about it, you have to realize, dude, he's totally the bad guy. Who cares what happens to him? But so him and Entrapta, like, kind of bond over this situation because she goes into her whole little spiel about what happened with her. And she's like, I always felt like an outsider. I've always been, different from everyone. And, I understand you. So like, even he's like, what the hell's going on? We get back to the three dummies and this little sequence makes no sense. Glimmer can't teleport outside the hole. Like she keeps failing and she like 9th time's the charm. She fails again and the shots are just the hole and you can hear their voices. Oh, it didn't hurt, did it? Well, everyone landed on my spine. Like they're just having this little like Three Stooges gag. They finally teleport out of the hole, which still I don't understand why she couldn't teleport high in the air, then look at the ground and teleport to the ground. She's done it before. This was to set up a stupid joke that's not funny. Then she starts complaining. Of course, Glimmer's always complaining about, oh, if it wasn't for that Huntara, we got stuck in this hole. I can't believe it. But at the same time that she's complaining about her, she's really talking crap about Adora because Adora was pushing to hire this lady so bad. And then Adora kind of realizes, oh, I brought us out here because I thought we could find that signal. And I thought we could help stop, the Hordak from building these portals. But the real reason, she just wants to learn about herself. Because that matters. Because learning about your past is going to help you stop, Hordak from killing everybody. But of course they have to, oh no, you were right. You're a good person, Adora. And it's like this whole, they have to validate every decision she makes. Huntara left footprints behind, which I think is very unlikely. Unless she really thought they were going to die down there. Whatever. Cut back to Entrapta helping Hordak. And then Hordak's like sitting there a little pouty. I don't need anybody's help. And Entrapta's like, oh, it's okay to get help from your friends. And it's like, this should be two good guys having this conversation, not bad guys. And this is where things, I couldn't believe this. Like, what are they trying to do here? She's like building stuff and she's talking about how good it is to have friends and people who understand you. And she turns and looks at Hordak and the sparks are flying and she smiles and the background lights up. That's what you do when a character sees someone and they fall in love with them, There's like the birds are singing and the lights are brighter and the birds sing even sweeter.
And is beautiful. At least to me. Stand here.
What? What is going on here? Because then Hordak gives her that look of like, whoa, like, is he like into her? This is so weird. Why do this whole glowy thing? I don't even know. When I first saw this, I paused, I walked out of the room and I had to think, what in the world were the writers, the art direction, what were they thinking? But she starts like measuring Hordak and he's like letting her like, she's not manhandling him, but she's like moving his body around, touching his arms and everything. So weird. It's so creepy. And, she's like touching his face and everything. And, she basically saved a whole bunch of First One's tech. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to build you a better body. And she builds him like an exoskeleton. And he looks kind of badass. I like it. And she's like, your new body is not trying to replace your parts. It's going to be more of an exterior shell, but it's going to work better for you. And she's like all close to him. Hey, how does it feel? And he's like, oh, it's powerful. So she like made Hordak even stronger. So maybe he won't be so sickly and everything. But he's a bad guy. I kind of was happy. I'm like, yay, Hordak got a new body. Wait a second, he's like Space Hitler. Like, why do I want him to be happy? And we get this weird, this is something good guys should go through. Is Hordak Sundari? Is that what's going on? Because he can't thank her. He's like, I acknowledge you doing a good job. And then even Imp, which they never give him a name, even the creators, like during Comic-Con, called him Hordak's baby. I've said that in the past as like a joke, but it's Imp. Imp kind of gives in the business, say thank you. And of course, Hordak can't say thank you really, but he's like, anyone who thinks you're worthless, they're wrong because you have value. And then we get the bedroom eyes. This is so weird. And she touches Hordak's face and she's like, oh, it's really good to have a friend. I have one question for Hordak after all this.
What was on the agenda tonight?
I was just gonna take her out and show her around.
Seriously, what? Oh, I don't want to see what happened after this scene. I can only imagine what went down between these two. It wasn't, oh, we're super best friends now, because best friends don't look at each other this way. They don't touch each other this way. This is something that you are physically attracted to someone. It is so weird. And then they call me the freaking pervert. They freaking animated this crap. Cut back to Huntara and her stupid little gang. She's looking at the sword and they're screwing with Bo's stuff, and the goat lady captures herself in a net arrow and Huntara cuts her free, and the goat lady's like giving her business. This Huntara lady is like ginormously big and strong. Why are you talking crap to her? Do you want her to knock her damn head off? She's holding this sword, and this looks like a place where people don't really cut each other slack. So I don't know what this goat lady was attempting, but she's like, oh, you really cared about them, didn't you? You really liked them, huh? And like kind of cock and crap to her. Since the three idiots got out of the hole, they start a little attack and she's shooting glimmer bombs at people. And I'm all sparkly. She says something really stupid. I run the clip. It's really dumb.
Nice. I'm Princess Glimmer of Bright Moon, and I sparkle!
They're trying to get the sword back. Get the sword to freaking Adora, turn to She-Ra and take care of this. This fight, this whole action sequence isn't bad. It's better than most of the fight scenes. It has a couple really stupid parts where Adora couldn't possibly fight Huntara at all. It'd be like 6'4" me fighting like the average teenage girl. There's no fight there. She couldn't physically, like, because she goes and tackles her and everything. Yeah, there's no average size woman that could tackle. If basically she's bigger than a full grown man. She's like the biggest football player that ever existed. This tackle's not gonna happen. She should have like slide kicked her or knocked her knee out or something. But it's like a lazy tackle. Fight goes on and on. I want someone to try this. We got Adora has a rear mount on her, pinned her to the ground. Huntara does this weird side kick. From her back, she throws her back leg out hard enough to kick Adora off her.
Take it!
That move has no power. Try it now. Lay on your stomach and try to do this weird side kick. You couldn't kick a bag of flour off your back, let alone someone who's trying to fight you. Anyways, the fight keeps going on. They're doing little like flips and moves. Like they're doing similar things. Huntara does a couple back springs. Adora does the same thing. She's snatched her little like, I guess like it's a spring-loaded spear thing. They start a sword fight. It's a pretty decent fight. It's okay. We get back to Bo's fighting the goat lady. She's shooting poison darts. He's shooting arrows at her. And for a second, I thought he hit her. I'm like, oh, damn. Bo just killed that lady. But it like pinned her shirt to the wall. I'm like, oh, come on, Bo. Freaking go for the kill shot. Hits her with the net arrow because that's what we do. Glimmer's fighting the lizard dude. She does the stupid tongue thing with the, I'm taunting you, like in an anime where you like pull your eyelid down and stick out your tongue. She did it earlier in the fight, and she does it again here. Yeah, that's what you do during a fight. At least Adora, when she's fighting Huntara, everyone's shutting the hell up and they're trying to kill each other. We get back to the good fight, and it's going back and forth, some moves here and there. Huntara gets the best of Adora, knocks her to the ground, gets the sword to like her throat, and goes for the kill shot. She's gonna lob her damn head off. She goes for a full swipe. Adora dodges, gets the sword out of her hand. Glimmer throws the sword to Adora, says, we need She-Ra. And Huntara's like, She-Ra, you know She-Ra? And then we get that scene from the trailer, and she's, I am She-Ra. And I guess Huntara's like, She-Ra's a person? So she must have known something from First One's writings, but then she finally sees She-Ra, and she realizes, oh yeah, I'm toast. They could kill me. She could kill me if she wants, but She-Ra doesn't because She-Ra can't kill anybody. And she's like, you knew my name. You know something about me. Help us. We were both, oh yeah, they were talking about how they were both Horde soldiers, and that's what she ran away from. We chose to do the right thing. Instead of running away from the war, we can help stop it. Then she like grabs her face, like pulls up her chin. Oh my God, were they gonna kiss? Don't, that's so weird. No one does that. I can understand her picking her up by her shoulder saying, you don't need to be on your knees. We can talk face to face. But she like lifts up, lovingly caresses her face. It's so weird. I guess during this time, the goat lady lizard boy got out of their restraints, and then she's like, oh, you better let her go, or we're going to kill your friends. This is freaking She-Ra. You don't even need help. But Huntara is like, faking that she's still on their team, beats them up and decides to help She-Ra because She-Ra's going to stop the war and we can work together. And they do the bro fist, the bro handshake of bros. We have, she's going to lead him to the true center of the Crimson Waste. And we find out that it was Mara's crashed ship. That's kind of cool. And that's where the episode ends. Yeah, take out all the weird shipping stuff, especially with Entrapta and Hordak. It is so weird.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
I guess you can keep, even though she's underage, keeping the Adora's infatuation with Huntara. Maybe she's into big ugly chicks. That's like her thing. Whatever floats your boat. But 300-plus-year-old man with more than likely teenage girl is super gross and super creepy. I really like the animation sequence where we learned about Hordak's past. Very interesting, kind of cool. It's cool to think that there's a bunch of other Hordaks out there. Everything else, I'm going to give it a pretty lame, pretty stupid, especially those gags in the beginning, all the jokes in the bar. But everyone tells me that because everyone already binged it in the first 5 seconds that it was out. And a lot of people say it gets better And then most people are saying that it's interesting. It isn't good, but at least it's interesting. So that's something to look forward to. Everyone says episode 4 is supposed to be like, ooh, the cool episode. But tomorrow's episode 3. Keep the comments coming. Hit me up on Twitter. I got a couple of questions there. You guys, especially in the Discord, there's lots of discussion there. People talking about all different characters, their own headcanons. Really cool fan art. I can't stress that enough how cool the fan art is in my Discord server. I have a whole section just for fan art. And keep the conversation going. It's so much more fun to talk about the show than it is to actually watch it, because all you guys have better ideas than what these writers do. But yeah, stay tuned for episode 3. See you guys later. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.